The Valley of Virgo spans a huge, relatively safe area. It's so rare to see other foragers out here. It's surprising when you come across Utopia and two other foragers crouching in the underbrush. Psst! Bad! Utopia hissed, beckoning you over. Get over here! You sneak over to the other foragers. Through a gap in the underbrush, you spot a terrifying sight. A fully grown manticore has fallen into a nest of at least 20 snap bladders. And they're enraged in what looks like a battle to the death. I got 10 kudos on the snap bladder, she says. I fell into a nest once. I was laid up in the med bay for a week. Thank you for joining me for Nathan Plays Badly, Nathan Streams Badly. I was a teenage Exocolonist. We are at the beginning of our 18th year. Let's talk to Mars. Have you seen this around anywhere? Mars asked. I was just thinking, I haven't seen him in literally ages. Ah, is he still out playing Explorer? Why? You can see about this. What no one here understands is that we're part of this planet. This says, looking up at the colony walls. Like it or not, this planet is a system. We can't just hack it. It's what humans did on Earth. This continues. And look where that got us. Okay. The last 2 years, I think I really want to concentrate this is the game where this is the game that I've been playing where Tammy's pregnant, right? Tammy sighs and presses her hand to her lower back. Oh goodness, she worries. It's getting harder and harder to move around. Do I have a cake I can give you? I do. She doesn't really like cake. She doesn't dislike cake, but as one of her actual likes, she doesn't actually like cake. It's Cal that likes cakes. Let's see if she'll like a yellow flower. 2. So yes, she does. She likes yellow flowers. Tammy accepts the flower with a huge smile. Thank you so much, family. These are my absolute favorite, especially the yellow ones. Well, good, because the yellow ones are all that we have. Tammy looks worried. She's hugging herself and pacing around. Every now and then her attention turns sharply towards the east wall. Are you okay, Tammy? She's relieved to see you. There's something out there, she says in a quiet voice. Lots of somethings outside the wall. I think they're far away, but I can hear them. Try to listen for them. You hold your breath and strain to hear anything out of the ordinary. Just kids playing sports ball in the distance and the whirl of a hover lift in the construction yard beyond the command. It's a quiet morning in the colony. You tell Tammy you don't hear anything. It's like, she struggles to describe the sound, squeaky, super high pitched, really long sounds like metal or like a broken robovac scraping along the floor, only there are hundreds of them. You shudder at the thought. My dad said he picked these ears as my augmentation to keep me safe. His were the same, but they couldn't keep him safe. She sniffles. I'm scared. I hate my stupid ears. She bats them with a fist, tears springing to her eyes. Tammy's augment. Well, we learned Tammy's augment, but we already knew Tammy's augment. I guess we didn't technically know what it was, so it's super hearing. Except there's nothing super about it. Reminds me of an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Goku's having a private conversation with somebody over on the side, and when he comes back over, Piccolo's like, so what are you going to do about this? And Goku's like, you heard that? And he's like, these ears aren't just for show. It's okay to be scared. Your ears are a little funny looking. I know what creature that might be. You're lucky you have you're lucky to have such cool ears. What? I want to tell her she's lucky to have such cool ears. I don't want her to feel bad about her ears. Really? You think so? She lets you lean in close for a good look at her enormous elf-like ears. You wonder what it must be like to have such sensitive hearing. Can she hear the grass growing? Can she hear your heart beat? I have an idea. Engineering 20 or greater. Yeah, they're neat. They're beautiful like the rest of you. Can you hear me now? That's just a horrible thing to do. I would like to say they're beautiful just like the rest of you. Just to be nice. But that's a flirt, and we don't want to muscling on Cal's girl, especially if she's having Cal's baby. So, I have an idea. You ask if she considered noise canceling sound. The subdermal jawbone conducting here speak for her hollow palm could be calibrated to dampen or block out certain frequencies. She takes a moment to parse what you're saying. Oh, wow. I never thought of that. I'll try it. I wonder if I'll still feel like me without my special hearing. So, I'm not sure if I should have the rest of these options after. Oh well. Yeah, they're neat. You tell her that with her amazing hearing, she could be a great garrison lookout or a musician or a spy. She looks at you dubiously. I don't think I want to be any of those things, but thank you, she smiles. You're a good friend, Badly. I got a card. Tammy's Care 2. 3, and then +3 to the card to the right. That's a pretty good card. she apologizes for crying, even though you've seen it many times. Tammy is such a caring girl. It's unfair she has to suffer for her sensitive hearing, but so sweet that she doesn't want to be a burden. Learn Tammy more. She gives you a big, warm hug and says she's going to head inside soon because it's nice and quiet in there. You leave her rubbing one of her ears thoughtfully. So I've kind of figured this out. When it says you've learned such and such more, this is what they're talking about. You know, you've learned that Tammy's more or less loyal. She's a homebody, and she's shy. Which, if you'd been paying attention, you probably could have told at least these two already. We are going to hit the engineering pretty hard for the next 2 years. I think most of my expedition days are done. What I needed from expeditions, which ultimately was the ability to go out during glow and meet Sim, I've got. There might be some more Sim stuff that could be done, but for the most part, we're not going to worry about expeditions anymore. I guess I need to rest. We're going to work on robotics and probably do some stuff in command. I'm just kind of looking around to see if there's stuff that I can pick up. We're going to relax on the walls. The view from on top of the tower is stunning. In almost every direction, you see the untouched beauty of the Tuma spilled out before you. Well, except for where they cut down a bunch of mush trees and where the expedition's vehicles have churned up the dirt and where the drainage system has made a big muddy puddle and took a month off and relaxed. I don't think I want to get rid of either of those. Okay. You roll out of bed at noon because you're allowed to, because it's your birthday, but also because you're exhausted. I just got rid of all the stress. You're exhausted. You barely slept at all last night. You've been having these nightmares since the siege, more and more every night, like they're trying to tell you something urgent. Can't make any sense of it. All the imagery is jumbled together. All these possibilities and timelines and things that might happen. Some nights you wake up in a cold sweat, a scream already in your throat. You sit on the edge of your bed, run a hand through your hair, and check your hollow palm. A few people wished you a happy birthday, but that's all. Guess you're going to get older. birthdays aren't as important as they used to be. Oh man, right, there's going to be a surprise birthday party waiting for you in the lounge. It was in one of your dreams. You'll remember it because it was one of the few ones that didn't involve people dying or the colony being destroyed. But you're so tired. Do you really have to do this? Pretend to be surprised. Avoid the surprise party. I am kind of interested about what happens if you avoid the surprise party, but I guess being the good friend would be pretending to be surprised. Or when they show up, say, yeah, I know there's a surprise party, but I'm down with the party, I'm not down with surprises. Pretend to be surprised. As you're in their lounge, surprise! You do your very best to play along and act surprised. Whoa, streamers, balloons, great! Surprise party 5 plus 3 on third stage of challenges. I do find that often shows up on like the first draw, and it's like, okay, but I can't use it till the third stage. Or, it's on one of those ones that isn't a challenge. It's a regular story thing. It's like, okay. So I don't get the extra 3? All of your friends are standing around wearing goofy hats and clapping. Nami is holding a bunch of balloons, larger than they are. And Rex is wearing a cute little waiter's outfit with a bow tie. You accept their hugs and birthday wishes, trying to hide your exhaustion and demurring with a few pointed, all this for me? You shouldn't have. Not really. No, really. Excuse me. Cal brings over a hollow screen with a video call from Tammy. She looks exhausted but proud. In her arms is a tiny little wrapped bundle of baby. Look, Badly, she says. Enchanta just missed your birthday by a day. You coo over the baby girl and wish Tammy a speedy recovery. She looks even more tired than you are. But everyone is healthy and happy. Especially Cal. He takes the hollow screen for a few minutes after you're done so he can obsess over Tammy's new baby. Even though he's probably not supposed to be related to Enchanta, he's every bit the proud daddy. Okay. When he returns to the party, he's so happy he sounds like a total dork. He tells everyone about the new baby, beaming so proudly for Tammy that they can probably take readings from Earth. Despite your exhaustion, you start to smile too. Your friends are so amazing, and they're all here because they care about you. So I've said several times since they announced Tammy's pregnancy that obviously it's Cal's. I guess technically it's not, but he's still he's still a proper dad, even if he's not biologically Enchanta's dad. Then you get some unexpected guests. The lounge begins to fill with Helio kids, mostly ones you don't know, and ones who usually keep themselves, and, well, not much like your original stratospheric kids. Mostly ones you don't know, the ones who keep to themselves and, well, don't much like your original stratospheric kids. Vince and Aminette are with them, his arm draped over her shoulder. Aminette gives you a little wave of acknowledgement for your birthday, which earns a weird look from Vance. Hey, who invited you guys? Cal says, stepping forward with his hands clenched. This is a private party. Well, it's a public lounge, Vance replies. We can sit wherever we want. Cal stomps right into the midst of the Helios. You guys think that just because you fell out of the sky, you're the wormhole's gift to Batuma. He spits out. We don't need you. We never needed you. All you do is make things worse, like this party. You rarely seen Cal so ready for a fight. He doesn't seem to care that the body language of the Helios kids has changed from cocky to dangerous. You're just a bunch of fascists, Cal continues. You and Lum. I definitely don't have enough relationship with Vance to stop it. I don't have enough relationship with Aminette to stop it. The lounge erupts, chairs screeching across the floor as the Helios jump to their feet, yelling at Cal, calling the colony illegal and Cal a fugitive. They jostle him around, but Cal plants his feet and stands his ground. You hear a bottle breaking and see someone advancing on Cal. He's not backing down. Stop it! Your voice is drowned out by their argument. Then someone throws a punch, and it's all chaos from there. Despite Cal's bravado, the brawny physique, he's no fighter. One of the Helios kids socks him in the stomach, and he goes down like a failed gnarled tree. Rex throws himself between Cal and his assailants, catching a few kicks on Cal's behalf before the Helios get tired and leave. With a few parting shots at Cal's alleged romantic interactions with the float cows. Vince doesn't get involved, but he doesn't stop them either. He's the last to leave the lounge, staring hard at Rex before smirking and turning away. Rex helps Cal to his feet. First time, huh? He says, dusting off Cal's clothes. Don't worry. They probably got it out of their system. Good on you for sticking up for yourself. Aminette lingers at a distance, clearly angry at Cal, but feeling bad about the fight. Well, Mars exclaims, clapping her hands. That was enough excitement, I think. Let's move on to the important part. Cake and presents! Under Mars' skillful party hosting hands, the mood shifts back to festive. You enjoy your presents and your cake, but tensions boil over like that is bad omen for the rest of the year. Mid quiet. Where are we with? I need to increase both tangent and this relationship. Oh, Tammy's got something. Tammy beams when she sees you, like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Badly, she exclaims. She comes in for her annual birthday hug, throwing her arms around you and giving you a great big squeeze. Here, I got you this. It's cake. Made you this. You can share it if you want. Try to share it with Tammy. She laughs. Just kidding. She made her own. There's probably not anything. You never know when something's gonna spawn. I've been thinking about what I said, and there are reasons to go on more expeditions. I mean, we chose not to. I chose not to quickly over advance. The storyline with gardeners, so I do need to go back and have a few more conversations with Salem. I can't tell. I can't tell if it's hubris to believe humanity will become the dominant species on Batuma, as we were on Earth 10 years watching the dust motes flutter by. If nothing else, it is certainly survivorship bias. The family tree of humanoid species has many dead branches, so to speak. Humans are weak, defenseless, fragile, inefficient, and short-lived, Tang says. And that is only a few of our many faults, and yet we dominate Earth. I have to believe that it is possible to do the same here. I have something for you. I've got a bunch of these flowers, so I'm going to give you one of these flowers. I suppose this might be of scientific interest. +2. You're more beautiful than a flower. Sperma says, please don't say that. Thank you for the flower. Okay. So I really want to go down this repair robots storyline. I would like it a whole lot better if it gave me friendship with Tang, but Tang flags you down in the hallway. Oh, Badly, do you have a moment? You go out on an expeditions sometimes, right? She asked. At least far more than I do, or would ever wish to. So, would you mind doing me a favor? Of course. It's a small thing, really. And I'm to understand it's not terribly dangerous either. Fang replies, I simply need you to bring me some Popeye eggs the next time you come across the nest out there. I would ask this, but, well, she makes an evocative, dismissive gesture. Why, I'll keep an eye out for them. I'm not your more. I'll keep an eye out for them. That's all I ask, Peg replies, grimly. They're quite common, if the reports from the Voyagers are to be believed. They tell me that they commonly find nests in the Valley of Vertigo. It's positively lousy with them. Okay. Well, I can do this one because it's wild. +6 is the card is a blue card. 7, 4. 1's not going to help. You got +2. Oh, because of this deal. 32. Oh, first collectible use is free. Well, good. Sorry, I meant to do that and that. these do I have? I don't really want to use up the only one I got, but make this a 7. I should have been using these. +1 to middle cards. Oh well. We did it. We only got 2 stars for it, and we did it terribly, too. Late quiet. Keep forgetting that during quiet I probably need to be doing physical things. Because I get a boost to them. I could go to Virgo, or I could do some of the command stuff. All blue card values become wild. Hollow Eye display. +30 engineering. First collectible use is free. +15 to all skills. To all skills? See, that would have been nice 2 or 3 years ago. Flushes. Oh, all blue flushes. This is all red pairs. 2x bonus. 4 red pairs. Okay. Nothing that I can afford that I absolutely have to have. Assisting the governor, persuasion and organization. Might be good to have max out that organization. Friendship with Mars. Okay. I need more friendship with this. I mean, I really need more friendship with this. And I need to talk to Sim. And I need hot eye eggs for Tank. So plus expedition. Doing this is a good way to grab some forageables as well. A lot of Vickery around. Come on, you can go past him. There you go. Okay. You're welcome to a betrayal when you're caught by surprise. It's Sim, and he's running. You're knocked to the side as he pushes past you, running in the opposite direction with barely a glance. You shout and chase after him, but after a few seconds it becomes clear that you don't have a hope of finding Sim when he doesn't want to be found. You turn and continue along the path, and around the next bend you spot a familiar face. Utopia. She's collecting rock samples for pickaxe, like an old-timey prospector. Who was that? She demands. Who? I didn't see anyone. That's just my friend. Oh, just an alien named Sim. I'm going to do something I don't normally do on these live streams. I'm going to save. We'll overwrite that one. And I'm going to pick the one I shouldn't. Utopia squints at you with her trademark gruff humor. An alien, eh? Is that some kind of role-playing thing? She hikes her pickaxe off of her shoulder. Whatever. Just watch where you're running, okay? The gravel's loose around here. Okay, well, that wasn't so bad, so we'll keep it. You agree. Happy to be out of this conversation without any trouble. And continue on along the path before Utopia asks any more questions. You walk for a couple minutes before you see Sim again. He seems to be in good humor, despite the close call. Oh, he says, leaning against the tree. It is tiresome to be so secretive. He wipes his eyes, brimming with mirth. It is such a pleasure to be around you and this, and to not have to hide myself. He sobers quickly. It would be best if you exercise discretion, though, he says. It is not the right time for the gardeners to be formally introduced. To do so too early would cause a great degree of chaos. Yes, even the female surveyor, he continues. I do like her, but I have learned that my limited experience with your kind, that adults of your species do not react well to surprise. Well, surprise, surprise, Sim, I'm an adult of my species now. It is good you're here, though, Sim continues, as I do need something from you. Data. What? Sim holds up his hand. Please do not be alarmed, he says placatingly. I do not mean sensitive information, such as personal and defenses. It's personnel and defenses. I mean only the contents of your digital cultural archive. Like holovids? Smiles. Yes, exactly. Your holographic recordings of music, of movies, music, books, cultural artifacts only, I promise. Why? Well, Sim says, isn't it obvious? I wish to know more about your kind. I wish to learn how to... He struggles for the right phrasing. I wish to learn how to act in such a way that is not so discomforting to humans. I'll do it. Sim's gentle smile grows warmer. Truly, he asks, clasping his hands. Oh, I thought it would take a great deal more convincing. You are surprising. It's such a pleasure. You tell Sim that you can likely find a MWE drive in engineering and fill it with the data he wants. A meme drive. You have a few questions of your own and bid him farewell, but you have a few questions of your own. That's fair, Sim says. It must be frustrating to feel as though the truth is being withheld from you. Ignorance is not a yoke your kind bears easily. Please trust me when I say that my inability to answer your questions is born of circumstances beyond my control, and not a lack of desire on my part. He continues. I have full faith that you will know everything soon enough. So in the end, though, he did not answer the question I have for him. By the way, this is a good place to pick up Xeno eggs. Here we go. You spot a Hopeye nest, just like Tangent asked you to find, and there are 9 eggs inside, all packaged up in what looks like a delicate spun glass cocoon. You don't see the parents. steal some eggs. You break a little hole in the cocoon and put 3 of the eggs in your bag. They're a little gooey. You hope they don't break. You turn to leave and come face to face with adult Hawkeye. Understandably, it looks spitting mad. It drums its powerful foot on the ground in warning, and 4 more pop out of the undergrowth and start hissing at you. You should have known these sociable little creatures raise their young communally. Use animal psychology, animals 30 or greater. Kill them all! Combat 20. Throw your eggs away and run. Just run. Use animal psychology. You learn from the holopedia that the 2 different sets of eyes on a Hawkeye have different purposes. The large, bulging eyes on the top are hardwired for perceiving danger. Their small, forward-facing eyes are more concerned with finding food. If you're not food and you're not danger, you throw yourself onto your belly and wiggle away while the Hawkeyes stare at you curiously. When you're a safe distance away, they return to poking at their violated nest. Yeah, this is probably not going to be good. You come out of the trees into a large grassy clearing. In the middle is a, well, you can only describe it as a pedestal. In the middle of a cradle of flowers sits a massive egg, easily larger than any egg you've seen before. It's white with red freckles. And it's just sitting there in the middle of an empty clearing, totally unprotected. Take it. You put 1 foot up on the pedestal to brace yourself. This thing is huge. However, as you do so, the pedestal starts moving, and it starts growling. Its flowering appendages unfurl to reveal the face of a manticore. It narrows its feline eyes at you and rubbles in warning as it stands to its full, terrifying height. You figured out where the egg came from. With your arms full of egg, you can't really fight. Your choices are limited. Throw the egg and run. Keep the egg and run. Toughness challenge easy. Fight the manticore. Combat challenge hard. Keep the egg and run. +1 to physical cards, random cards locked in 1 slot. 7, not bad. Let's throw that 4 up there, and let's throw that 4 up there, making it 10. Gives us 22. That's good. That's not the highest value. Throw that in there. Why did that go up to 11? Oh, Tammy's homemade gift. +1 to cards with gems. Oh! Okay, let's put that there, and this is secret, which gets a +3 because it's in the first or last panel. Let's sort these by color. Yep, +3 on third stage of challenge. +2 to neighboring cards. +3 to the card to the right. And 6. Yeah, I completely blew away the super goal and still only got 1 star. You stumble blindly through the clearing towards the relative safety of the trees. The cumbersome egg blocking your view of your own feet. You fall a few times, just barely managing to scramble out from under the claws of the Manicore. You eventually find a member of the expedition's protection squad who fires a warning shot with her plasma rifle over the Manicore's head. It roars in defiance and slinks into the trees. That's a lot to go through for one egg collectible. The egg's pretty ailed from all the running and falling, but if it was going to hatch before, it certainly won't now. You get a ship ton of kudos for it, and it's super tasty. There should be another, yeah. Oh, Utopia. The paths are narrow and in constant need of repair. There's a team working here, trying to repair where one of the jelly arches has collapsed and covered the path in 30 centimeters of sticky goo. Utopia waves you over. Hey, Badly, can you give us a hand? We can't get vehicles through here until this is cleared, and it's going to take all day. We might have a better plan. I have a plan using biology. One slot card gets +2. Oh, cool. Okay, well. That's super nice. $29. Sure, you can do the first. I don't want to lose the kudos for that. And also it gets +1 from Tammy's thing, so the +6. 2 from a secret admirer gear, 2 from battle condition, or 1 from battle condition, 1 from Tammy's homemade gift gear, 2 from this. Okay. Well, then I need to make sure I use this one. I still only got 1 star. Yeah. You've seen this stuff. Delicate, desiccate, and low humidity. +1 biology, +5 kudos. Cool. You've seen the stuff desiccate in low humidity, like in dust. You throw powdered desiccant over it and let physics do its work. It's easier to plow through a bunch of plumped up granules of desiccant gel than it is to shovel all the slimy muck you save a few hours. Well, you find a triplet. It's just a tiny one, but food's food, and you are a forager. Let's notice location and move on. Oddly, when you come back later, it's not there. You must have recorded the wrong coordinates. Nope, they are animal more than plant. Well, maybe not more than plant. Well, they keep them with domesticated animals, so yeah, they're kind of animal more than plant, and they move. The Valley of Virgo spans a huge, relatively safe area. It's so rare to see other foragers out here. It's surprising when you come across Utopia and 2 other foragers crouching in the underbrush. Psst! Badly! Utopia hissed, beckoning you over. Get over here! You sneak over to the other foragers. Through a gap in the underbrush, you spot a terrifying sight. A fully grown manticore has fallen into a nest of at least 20 snap bladders. And they're enraged in what looks like a battle to the death. I got 10 kudos on the snap bladder, she says. I fell into a nest once. I was laid up in the med bay for a week. I got a bug that's bugging me. I was laid up in med bay for a week. Poor Manticore, one of the other foragers says. What a way to go. Last forager snorts. Who cares? After what they did to Hal, every Manticore can rot for all I care. Hal? I wasn't killed by a Manticore. The Manticore roars in pain as it's torn apart by the whip-fast, hungry snap bladders. Help the Manticore. Bet on the Manticore. Bet on the snap. We're going to bet on the snap bladders. It's not even a contest. The Manticore's roars get weaker as it's poisoned and slowly torn apart, piece by piece. Finally, it collapses into the carnage. The snap bladder nest is ravaged, but a few lizard-like heads continue to tear into the Manticore's carcass. Guess they won, Utopia mutters. Collect your winnings. Alright, let's get in there and scavenge what we can, Utopia says. Be careful, those snap bladders are still dangerous. I think I skip past a whole lot of events, but I think I can be happy with what I've got. Obviously, I'm going to have to do a few more expeditions to completely finish up. What is my empathy at? 60. 80. Tammy looks to be asleep on the couch in the lounge, but her eyelids open as you approach. Hello, Badly, she says, automatically starting to rock the nearby bassinet again. Sorry, I think I drifted off there for a minute. Do you need something? No. But I got something for Cal. Cal is doing some hardcore inverted yoga poses, balanced on his hands with his legs folded up and his knees tucked on top of his elbows. His breathing is long and steady. Check it out, he says, slowly extending one leg out so it sticks straight up in the air behind him. This one's called Crow Pose, but I think it's kind of more like a float cow. Get it? Because it's kind of like I'm floating. Float cow. I got something for you. +2 friendship, +2 friendship, and -5 stress. Cal's eyes go wide. Whoa, Badly! This is my favorite thing in the whole planet. He makes grabby hands with at the cake and takes a big huff of the pleasant, sugary smell as his eyes slip closed in sheer pleasure. Whoa, Badly, he breathes. You are really the best of the best. Here, you can have a piece too. Let the icing melt in your mouth and let all your worries melt away with it. No. You had plans to hang out with Cal today, but when you arrive at the geoponics dome, it's worryingly dark inside. You fumble around in the red emergency lights until all the lights come back on with a heavy ka-chunk of a breaker being flipped. You blink into the sudden blinding light until the figures of Cal and Chief Engineer Instance resolve themselves in your vision. Absolutely no more of that, young man, Instance scolds Cal as he cradles his hoverboard in his arms. The power grid is not your plaything. I understand it, Auntie, Cal says. I'm sorry. Instance mutters to herself as she passes you. Honestly, all of this over a toy. Hey, dude, Cal greets you. Sorry, I meant to meet you outside after work, but looks down at his hoverboard. My board wouldn't start, and I figured it was maybe out of juice. But when I plugged it in, it threw all these sparks, and then the whole power grid shut down. Cal's shoulders slumped. I was going to ask Dr. Instance to take a look at it, but she told me she doesn't have time to fix a dumb toy. Let's take a look at it. I'm sorry, Cal, it sucks. It's just a dumb broken toy. Get over it. Let's take a look at it. Well, okay, Cal says, slowly handing over the lifeless hoverboard. I guess you were pretty good at fixing things. You open up the hoverboard and poke around in its guts for a little while. Fixing rundown tech. I got like several of these cars now. +2 friendship Cal. After about 20 minutes, you think you have it figured out. You rewrite it so that the power no longer flows through the burned out capacitor. Stick a little duct tape in there and close the casing. Cal takes the hoverboard and curiously flips the switch. Et voila! It floats. It hovers even. Radical! Cal shouts, then covers his mouth with his hands. I mean, this is totally cool. Badly. Thank you so much. To celebrate, Cal lets you take the first spin on the board. Whoa. It bucks like a wild animal in your feet, and Cal catches you as you stumble off. Carefully laughs. First step's a doozy. Did I give you something? I gave you something, but I think because it's... No, I gave you something. It was last quarter, so I can give you something again. I have not seen my brother in some time, 10 years. I am certain he lives, otherwise expeditions would have raised an alarm, but myself, personally... She shrugs and goes back to examining her experiments. I have no time to track him down and beg, though through penitent tears, to be loved as a sister should be. If he wants to make amends, he knows where to find me. I'm not the one who is impossible to track down. Why does he need to make amends? I have something for you. Okay. Plus 2 friendship. I suppose this might be of scientific interest. You're more beautiful than a flower. Don't say that. Thank you for the flower. No. You spot Tang sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. What are you doing out here? She stops her grim work long enough to acknowledge your question. I hit the limit on the number of consecutive hours that allow me to work in the lab, she says. So I'm taking a break. She says, making mock air quotes around the sentence. Maybe they're right. How dare they? It's what I said, Tang replies. They just think they can boss me around because I'm younger, she scoffs. I'm smarter than any two of them combined. You do understand the how dare they was sarcasm, right? Tang groans as she rubs her bloodshot eyes. I just want to work, you know? It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone and feeling like I'm just on the precipice of a discovery. And then someone tells me that apparently my genius is taking too long. I want them to treat me like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does, Tang mutters. She actually respects me. They're just jealous that she likes me more. Tang slides off the boulder, and you see the color bleed from her face as she stumbles into you, nearly crumpling to the ground. Oh, she gets out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. I thought the nutritional uptake of that bar would be quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account the time required to walk to the cafeteria. She trails off, realizing she's clutching your jacket and pushes you away. My apologies, she says, brushing herself off. I am, regrettably, it seems, only human. Tang scrubs her hand over her face. Sometimes it feels like I'm a prisoner in my own body, like I can't feel myself trapped in it. It's seeking. This stinking, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses. stuck with the burden of keeping it alive every day for the rest of my life. And her voice breaks. Wait, Tang, are you crying? Say nothing. Are you crying? Tang scrolls and wipes her eyes angrily. Reflexive laceration is an involuntary response to emotional and physical stress. She snaps. In other words, no, I am not crying. It's just this resentment of my physical form. It reminds me of when I was little, and Instance used the Gentech to give me this body, the right body. Only this body's wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but it's still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work. I could just do what I'm good at. No messy biological function, no emotions, just clear and beautiful purpose. I hate this, Tang sniffles. I hate feeling like this. I'm always here to listen. Get over yourself. It's not that bad. I think you're beautiful the way you are. I want to flirt with her, but I also think this is more serious than a flirt. But we're going to do it anyways. I think you're beautiful the way you are. Nice to friendship. That's almost 6 minutes ago. I'll take the drop in friendship. Thanks, Groves. How nice for you, she sneers. You're right. People find me attractive. Makes everything all better. Never mind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the pain of being trapped in your own body. Tangents focus 2. 6 if this has the highest value. Plus 6 if this has the highest value on a 2 card? She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket, takes a deep breath, and holds it for 10 seconds, her eyes closed. By the time she opens them again, she looks ready to go back to work as if nothing has happened. You admire Tangent's determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. I think part of the problem is I keep making that decision. Every time I run across that. Okay, so I've only played this through one time before, and I think last time I also chose just, you know what, let's just party. And it's one of those things that you want to kick yourself over because it was not the right call, and it's not the right call. It is a serious thing that she's dealing with, and flirting with her just makes light of it. Download data for Sim. Sim asks you for data on human culture, television, shows, music, books, things like that. You have unlimited access to congruence media archive through your Holopalm, but for Sim it will be a little more complicated. You'll need to find a physical storage unit with enough memory to contain a chunk of the Holo archive. 2-1. +5 rebellion. The robot workshop will be a good place to look. You sneak in, nobody's around. Good. You rummage around until you find what looks like a portable hollow unit in a drawer. Then find a port in the wall to plug it into. The interface pops up with the options to copy data into the tiny drive. Perfect. You start by carefully copying your very favorite vids and games, then realize there's a shit ton more room in this tiny device. You sweep in several thousand more vids, as well as the entire contents of the school's learning PDF. As you slip the unit into your pocket, the congruence console above you suddenly flickers and lights up. Congruence seems amused. She doesn't sound an alarm, although you know you shouldn't be in here, but ask in a neutral voice, "What are you doing in here, Badly?" Persuasion 30 or greater. So I just came to see you. +1 persuasion. Congruence allows her expression to show doubt, though she seems flattered. You chat for a bit, then she tells you to get out before you get in trouble. She seems to be lonely. Can an artificial intelligence get lonely? It's something you never really thought about before. You guess she must miss Professor Howe quite a bit. Okay, and we're going to repair robots. The Heliopulse didn't have an onboard AI like Congruence, which must have been hard. She runs the robotics lab just like she runs all the rest of the colony systems, silently and perfectly. Working with her is like working with an all-knowing, all-powerful god who doesn't mind doing all the chores. You always knew Congruence was more advanced than all the other bots put together, but you didn't realize that that assumption was literal. She programs all the bots based off of her own code, so it's almost like they're a part of her. Sometimes, while you're working on a bot, she'll joke that it tickles. As Congruence hands, you do physical maintenance on the bots. The ones you see most often are the vacuum bots. As the colony has gotten larger and much, much dirtier, they're more likely to get clogged and break down. Then people will have to do more cleaning by hand, which makes them complain to command, which means more maintenance requests on your desk. I have a desk. One vacuum bot in particular is just eccentric. It's broken in a way you can't really permanently fix, but you keep patching it up and sending it back out to serve the colony. You see it in the lab so often you decided to name it. Let's name it Robbie. Fixing rundown tech. Another one of these. How many of these do I have? 3. I have 3 of these 0 value, wild value cards called Fixing Rundown Tech. And they are a 3 card, but they are also a 0. But they're a value wild, so they have their place. They don't add value to the challenges, although if you're doing a blue challenge they will get a +1, but they don't technically add value to the challenges, but if you stick them in between a 4 and a 5, they'll count as a 3, which will give you the straight. And if you stick them in between or next to any card, then you'll get the bonus for having a pair. So they can add value to the challenge that way, but I don't need 3 of them. I am starting to find also that I get a smattering of all different colored cards, and I would like to get only one color cards, or maybe not only one color, but anyways, get to work. Pairing robots. Card becomes a 4. So this isn't a challenge. And there are no gym cards here. That might not be the best. Like if I took out tangent focus, put this one there, this one next to that one, and put this 8 in there. There's 41. Guess I should have used that for the 4. Still got only 1 star. Engineering and creativity. Getting a lot of creativity. You find tangent in engineering and set down the bag of squelchy, goopy hot pie eggs. Her eyes go wide. You found them, she exclaims. That's wonderful. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about my request. She reaches for the eggs but stops. Wait. What is that sound? Are they? They are. You hear a wet cracking sound coming from the bag. You're about to witness the miracle of life on Vatoma style. What do you do? Just enjoy the magic, analyze the process, leave. Yuck. Analyze the process. +1 analyze. You pull out your hollow palm and prepare to take notes. Why miss this opportunity? You and Tang watch and wonder as the gel-like shell of the largest Popeye egg splits like a ripe melon in the sun, spilling out a tiny, squirming pink baby and a small puddle of amniotic fluid. You watch the last 2 eggs intently, but through the clear eggshells, you can't see any movement inside at all. Not even a heartbeat. It's okay, Tang says. We only need 1. The tiny hot pie is on its feet, foot, within minutes. taking curious little hops on the sleek surface of the lab bench. Magnificent, Tane says, keeping the palm-sized hop eye from falling off the table. I expect them to be helpless at birth, like kittens or birds, not already moving around like a ungulate. Incredible. Can't wait to study it. No, I'm keeping it. It's yours. I'm gonna let it go. It's yours. It's 5 loyalty, plus 1 help tangent, plus 10 coups. Perfect, Tangent says. Let me get a specimen container for it. She leaves you with the tiny, clumsy thing, which chirps and blinks up at you unevenly with its 4 eyes. Well, whatever Tang and Dr. Instance are going to do with it, it's probably for the greater good of the colony. It's actually not, but we'll get there. Next month. I don't suppose I can give you another present. I don't think so. Nope. It's getting her thought and hubris of assuming we'd be the dominant species on the planet. Yes, I didn't give you a present. Soldiers keep trying to recruit me to hunt animals, this says, rolling his eyes. They think the only reason anyone would go frontiering is to kill everything already there and put up a flag, idiots. He strums his fingers over the hilt of the knife on his belt. I mean, yeah, I've killed animals out there, but he shrugs. It was only because I had to. Kill or be killed. Doesn't mean murder everything indiscriminately. Does this interest you? I only have one medicinal root. I thought he liked something else. I guess not. Okay, well. I can think of worse uses for this medicinal root. Let's do friendship with this. His eyes light up when he sees you get. Whoa, he says, taking them from you with an uncharacteristic delight. Are these pieces of a jelly arc root network, or is it a dormant butterfly bush? Where did you find these? Dude, I wish I remembered. I guess I need to go out and do another expedition. Well, not with my current stress level, I know. So I can give Sim my information, data he requested. Being Lum's assistant isn't the glamorous life of political intrigue you were hoping for. He's more of a soldier than a politician, and even then, you hear he's not much of a soldier either. If he notices that people mock him, he doesn't seem to care. It almost makes him more boastful. Like he thinks the sole duty of governor is to soak up as much attention and power and wield it whenever and however he likes. Whenever he's questioned on something, he unleashes such a torrent of bravado and barely veiled threats that it's impossible to make your own point. And then he just pushes through what he wants to do anyways. It's infuriating. Given that the colony's governance is based around the idea of communication and and empathy, no one seems to know how to contain him. As for the Helios, they seem to have their own ways to get around him. They're grateful he's gone into politics, because that means your older and more experienced security chief Rhett makes all but the largest military decisions. And in fact, you think some of them enjoy that he's such a moron, because they hope the colony fails. They think he's entertaining. Mars is responsible for producing his social media content, which he considers an important part of his brand. They mostly consist of powerful sounding but ultimately empty speeches around how great the colony is doing and how proud everyone should be of their really, really, truly great work. Just fantastic, really, really. Unusually, while carrying a log of mushwood, so he looks super strong. You and Mars are huddled in command, trying to avoid his attention, while Mars scrolls through Loon's selfie roll, trying to pick the best one for social media. As a political strategy, it's not unheard of, she mutters. Plenty of Earth dictators use it. I just can't tell if it's his official strategy or if it's really just this thing. You hear footsteps approaching and Mars groans. Loon claps his hand on her shoulder and smiles broadly. There you are. I was thinking in this next video, I think the colony is ready to see some of the footage from that counterattack I led against the enemy aliens. Oh, stars, you remember this. Loon plays the footage of the time he charged into battle and nearly got everyone killed with explosives. You cringe as you remember it wasn't your finest moment either. You can't believe this is the footage he wants to hold up as proof of his bravery and vision. This is great footage, Mars simpers. Just really great. It's actually perfect for Badly to practice working on his video editing skills. You shoot Mars a stinky look, but she just smiles. Lim agrees. With such great material, he practically did your job for you. How are you going to spin this into a propaganda piece? Do your best to make him look good, or try to make him look bad. Easy. Tell him how stupid this is. Convince him to try something else. I don't think I want to try to make him look bad. That would... It wouldn't be counterproductive, but it definitely would probably put me in hot water. Let's make him look bad. Why not? One slot gets +2, plus minerals. 3, 1, and 9, 11, 27. Well, that's not going to help. 3, 4, 5. Oh. Card gets +2. Oh, sets neighbor to this value. Let's put that there. Oops. +1 challenge. Oh, no, that's still on challenges, but. What's that there? No, it still doesn't. Okay, 29. Well, I don't know if it, you know what? Maybe not. Four, the value is wild. +2 neighbor cards. Neighbor, these cards. Super Gold. 1 star. Rebellion, -1 quality defense, -10 kudos. Crack your knuckles and settle in to make Lum worse than a joke. You make him a meme. Mars cackles while she watches the video, then hits send. It's perfect, she says. I don't care if he looks bad. Garbage in, garbage out, you know? She sighs wistfully as people start to react to the video. I would give you much better source material. At the work. Persuasion, organizing, kudos, stress. And I got organizing completely failed. So new perk, what is it? Optional card skip. Can choose not to take new cards. I guess I think I've already got too many of the fixing broken technology cards, so I can just choose not to take it anymore. Okay, I can see marginally, occasionally, how that might be useful. Okay. We're not fully stressed out, but let's, what do we got here? You've been enlightened by mastering a skill, +1 middle skills increase for 3 months. Okay, change of plans. Repair robots. Assist in medbay. Well, we want to hit the engineering, so, and we want to go down the repair robots path, so let's do this. Bots don't really have identities, not like congruents. But they certainly have personalities, especially the ones that have been active since the stratospheric left Earth. That's a lot of time to develop quirks. There's the bot that needs to back in and out of the charging bay 3 times before getting a good connection. There's the one that sings a cheerful little song when you see it. There's one chicken-legged gardening bot that prefers to hop sideways. every bot, that might be that bot. Every bot is like a tiny little piece of congruence or cell. So in a way, it's kind of natural that they start to develop these eccentricities, just like she has. All right, everything's in blue. Seven, five. Wait, why did this? Oh, that's like gate 3. Okay. I guess this one. Only got 1 star for it. 6 engineering. That's awesome. 84. Okay. New perk. Creativity. Shop close. New cards in depot. Let's see what Nami has to say first. Find Nami in lounge, flanked by 2 holo screens, dueling on a sketchpad of real paper. One holo screen is playing an animated kids show, while the other is a wall of text that looks like it might be a translation guide of some kind. Nami's attention moves between the 3 easily. When they see you, they jump and quickly close their holo screens, sitting up straight and clutching their sketchbook to their chest. Oi, badly! They giggle, rubbing the back of their head. Charmingly. How you doing? It's okay, you can watch cartoons here. Aren't we a little old for cartoons? Is that in a different language? Clearly, she's watching manga. Is that in a different language? Well, yeah, Nami says, wrinkling her nose. It's better in the original language, but the subtitles don't tell the whole story either. Nami sets her sketchbook aside and looks around conspiratorially. I thought you were going to bust me for jailbreaking my holopad, she says. All the Helios kids have restrictions on what we can watch and for how long. But you guys have so many more cartoons than we have. Nami throws her arms in the air. Like the first season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. What? What's that? I love Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. Where did you learn how to do that? That sounds like total garbo. Where did you learn how to do that? Nami shrugs and wiggles his fingers. It just takes... It's just like modding my gaming gauntlets, she replies. Sure, a little bit more complicated because, oh my gosh, no offense, but your all interface is so decrepit, but a lot of the fundamentals are the same. Nami closes her eyes and tips her head to the side, smiling. You know, you've got a holopad genius here, too, she says. This was mondo helpful, helping me figure out your old system. Wait, like our disc? Nami nods, blinking innocently. Yeah. They chirp. He's a total sweetheart, don't you think? He's a nice guy. Most of the time. Anyway, the important thing is that I get to watch every episode of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. Nami continues clapping her hands against her cheeks. It's the best cartoon they ever made. What else has schoolgirls who look like aircraft from the waist down battling evil aliens while dealing with the stress of high school life? Every magic girl ever made. The Helio Media Archive only has season 2 through 9 and only 3 of the OVAs. Nami says, puffing their cheeks out. I can't believe in the 4th OVA, Flight Captain Yamoka gets captured by the aliens and brainwashed into thinking she's been an alien sleeper agent the whole time. You haven't seen the first season? I also want to move there. You haven't seen the first season? That sounds exquisitely bad. Is that what you're drawing? You haven't seen the first season? She shrugs and pokes her finger into their cheek. Spaceship kids make do. You don't have to know everything about something you like in order to call yourself a fan. Nami continues, just liking it with all your heart is good enough. While I agree with her, I often do find that if I'm going to watch a multi-part series or read a multi-part series, I have to get it from the beginning. I know there's some books out there and some TV shows out there that, they say you don't have to have seen everything before to understand what's happening here, but I find it often does add context. You don't have to know it. Yeah. Nami's enthusiasm. Card to the right becomes wild. Cool. Nami laughs and flips over their sketchbook, showing off some of their drawings. I was drawing some fan art for the show, they say. Well, it's kind of fan art. Okay, it's really more like if I was a character in Hypergirl Turbojet Transform. Looks good, keep at it. What kind of aircraft will you be? Will you be an artist when you grow up? This is a waste of time. What kind of aircraft will you be? What's your friendship with Nami? Nami blinks at you, clearly stunned by your interest. Oh. Well, okay, kind of. You see, all the cool aircraft are already taken, and it's rude to be a double. I press the tips of her index fingers together and look thoughtful. Sometimes I draw my character as something weird like a hot air balloon, but then I think it would be kind of cool if I was the only regular human in the Turbo Girl hyperjets. That was that conversation in a weird place. So we are going to take a break on the wall. Relax on the walls. You watch Tammy go for a stroll with baby. I can't even remember how I pronounce this. Enuncia. Everyone stops and coos over them both, patting Enuncia's little fuzzy head to give Tammy a bit of friendly advice. It's hard to believe she's so grown up now, and you're up here on the wall, shirking your responsibilities. Pick the month off. Okay, this is a 1. I know it's a GM, but it's also 0. I mean, it's a level 1. Thinking probably best to just get rid of it. This year, Governor Lum's ascension to the Vertinalia stage is heralded by an entire military band. Their instruments shiny and nano-printed new. They march out of commanding formations, splitting and forming a phalanx at the foot of the stage as Lum takes his place before you. Spotlights turn on with heavy ka-chunk noises, illuminating Lum in a halo of floating dust particles. He spreads his arms wide. Hello, Vatumna! His voice booms over the speakers. Are we winning or what? The reaction is mixed. If you look around, it's easy to see the ones cheering loudest are Helios and people who fully adopted their mentality like Emet. The Stratos are more reserved, some even silent. Security Chief Rhett is one of them, his usual stunning expression hiding his true feelings. Regardless, there's enough cheering that Loom has to wait for it to die down before he continues. We're killing it out there, people, he exclaims. Every day we claw a little more territory from the savage aliens of this planet. A Watato pod arcs through the air and lands with a broken spot at Lum's feet, splattering him with juice. You don't see who threw it, but the faction from Geoponics is looking restless. They begin to jeer and stomp their feet. Lum continues on, raising his fist. Those Xenos attacked us first, and now they're learning. Don't mess with humankind. The crowd is now evenly split between cheering and booing. The Stratos are agitated, and you hear calls for things like return to how they were, and how Lum and his soldiers are killing the planet. Even the council lined up before the stage and facing the crowd looks conflicted. We left Earth to get away from this stuff, your dad shouts. And you turn to him in surprise. He rarely swears. Now look at us. We're right back where we started, fighting each other and the planet. We brought it with us. Utopia hops on stage and routes her own here speak through the speakers. He's lying, she yells bitterly. This year we lost 2 surveyors in the swamp, Sorrel and Quentin. They'd be alive today if Lum hadn't sent them to clear out a manicore den for no good reason. She jams her fingers against the governor's chest. The only threat to our colony here is you. Lum's smile doesn't change, but his eyes go cold. He snatches Utopia's hand and calmly, slowly crushes her hollow palm crystal with his thumb. You can hear the crunch of the bone in her hand before her feed cuts out. Utopia yelps as her knees buckle with the pain. Her bravado gone. She holds a broken hand to her chest and is too shocked to resist when Lum shoves her off stage. The crowd is stunned in silence as well. Lum clears his throat and approaches the end of the stage, looming tall over the council. Thank you for your input, he says icily. Your concerns have been noted. This isn't the buffoon Lum presents to his daily holovids, or the nuisance he is when he visits the work sites. You see something in his eyes you've only caught glimmers of before, hatred. You Stratos are lucky we didn't crush you under our boot and take your colony by force, he sneers. Before we got here, this colony was doomed. You're only alive because I was merciful. Just a bunch of burned out hippie fugitives. What was your plan for surviving here? Wishful thinking, singing songs, and talking to animals? Laughter rips through the Helios. You, he gestures to the council, then jerks his thumb at his chest, need us, not the other way around. I'm done pretending I need to listen to your opinions. If you want to live, you'll do what I say. He stares at Dr. Instance, who glares up at him with hatred in her eyes as she tends to Utopia's hands. Maybe it's time to clean house, he threatens. We need team players here, ones who share one vision of the future of Batama. After a few tense moments, Seek clears their throat. Sir. Shall I continue with the traditional formalities now? Lum scrolls down at Seek, then throws his hands in the air. Whatever. Do it if it makes you feel better. You're all cowards. Turns and stalks off the stage, his marching band scrambling to follow him with his exit song. As promised, there are no contests this year, but there's plenty of food and alcohol. As the suns begin to set, the Helios, including Vance and Amenity, head straight for it and look ready to party into the night. The other teams seem a little less at ease. Disc, quite predictably, has already left. Party with the Helios, hang out with the Stratos, go find Disc. Hang out with the Stratos. I know you think he's evil, Tammy says, holding Enuncia to her shoulder while she speaks urgently to Cal. But don't you think, even a little bit, that he's right about Batama being too dangerous? Cal crosses his arm and shakes his head. Killing is never right, Tammy. He says, we can't fight a whole planet. If we meet violence with violence, it's just numbers. They're going to win. We have to find a better way, or we're all going to die anyway. Tammy's chin wobbles, but she clenches it defiantly. I just want to have a family, Cal. She insists, why can't we have one place on this awful planet where we can be safe? She just enunciates against her chest. I think it's worth defending this one space for ourselves. The monsters can live somewhere else, just not here. Cal's right, all killing is wrong. Tammy's right, we fight to survive. Lum's right, this is our planet. Lum's not right. But Cal's not right either. But is Tammy right? Guess I'll have to go with Tammy's right. +2 friendship with Tammy, +1 Tammy's confidence. Tammy nods, grateful for the backup. I just want Enuncia to grow up somewhere safe, she says firmly. Like we did. A peal of laughter rises from where Rex and Nami are playing what looks like a competitive slapping game. Rex rubs his reddened cheek ruefully as Nami rolls around on their back, kicking their legs in the air and giggling. Got you! I got you! Too slow, too slow! They stop and beckon you over. Come here, Badly, they say. Promise we're not even talking about the war even a little bit. You take your seat beside Rex and Nami. Rex claps you on the back. Well, we are a little bit, confines. Mostly we're making fun of those guys. He jerks a thumb towards Vance and the group of friends who've wrangled themselves a live trippet and are skewering it to roast over a bonfire. You can hear its dying squeals from here, and as night falls, smell the sweet charred scent of it cooking. They've always kind of been like this. Oh, they've always been kind of like this. Nami shakes their head. Just like total human supremacists. See something you don't understand? Nami makes laser guns with their fingers. Pew pew. All gone. Want something someone else has? Pew pew. All yours. I think this has distinct significance. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Lum got his power by taking out the people above him. They say he's not a good soldier. He's not a good politician. There was this look in the Helio's eyes when he said he was the leader when they showed up. Just kind of a look of how many people had to. I think it specifically said how many people had to die for him to become leader. I honestly think he got to where he is through assassination. Like Star Trek Mirrorverse character. I have a belief, I haven't seen any actual evidence of it, but I have a belief that we might be able to get him on that. Maybe. If we make the right choices. But I haven't seen I don't know what those choices are yet, and I'm not even sure that's true. I do know we can be removed from power. We're going to try to do that if we can. They lean back on their hands and look up at the night sky. In dust, the wormhole looks so peaceful and far away. I used to think me and Rex were like changelings, like aliens beamed in and replaced two human babies with weirdos. Plus two friendship with both Tommy and Rex. The dancing and feasting continues well into the night, while you pass the time with your friends in the peaceful faction, knowing that the whole colony isn't into being soldiers and fighting Lum's war on nature makes you feel less alone. But you can't stop thinking about the governor's eyes as he crushes Utopia's hand today. Oh yeah, there's another piece of evidence. Utopia stole his feed and called him a liar publicly, and what does he do? He crushes her hand. So long as he's in charge, does it matter what anyone else wants? The week after Vacnalia is one of the hottest since you landed. You're supposed to take time off for a much needed break, but it's just so humid and awful, and tempers are short. Shortly after the festival, you start seeing graffiti cropping up everywhere. It seems that a lively, if not particularly civil, conversation between two factions is being held on the flat surfaces of the colony. Plus 3 stress. Lum announces a zero tolerance policy for political graffiti, but you notice that not every tag is being removed. Just the ones against the war, of course. The atmosphere of the colony is oppressive. As thick as the choking dust heat itself. Everywhere you try to relax, people just want to talk about the war. To make matters worse, the sweltering nights are making your nightmares intense again. You return to work feeling more stressed than before. Okay, next month. Alright, this is where we're going to end it today. Thank you for joining me for Nathan Plays Badly, Nathan Streams Badly. I was a teenage Xenocolonist. I stream on Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8:30, and then I stream on and the VODs go up a week later on YouTube on Wednesday. I stream on Fridays from 9:30 to whenever, and then the VODs go up a week later on YouTube on Saturday. Also, check out my YouTube playthrough of Stardew Valley 1.6, which goes up on the channel on Monday. There will not be a live stream next Tuesday. I'm going to be out of town. These things happen occasionally and more often than I would really like. If you want to get in touch with me on social media, my ex is at Nathanbadly, and Nathan Plays Badly on Facebook, Discord, YouTube, and here on Twitch. I also have a Discord server for the channel. If you want to get on that, send me a friend request. I'll send you an invite. Thank you and goodbye. Hey, it's Nathan Plays Badly here. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video and you want to leave a constructive comment about what you think might make this video better, I'd also appreciate that. Also, you might see my picture down here. Click on that and subscribe. That would be great too. Thank you and goodbye.